Welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Okay, middle of the week. Let's get started. We're talking Kenobi episode 4. A bunch of other stuff we'll be discussing today on the Hollywood on the Rocks edition of the Film Threat podcast. Thank you for joining me here today. I hope a bunch of you, maybe some of you saw me on the Nerdrotic Nooner. Always fun to do that with Gary and talk nerd stuff. Let's launch right in and talk about this because I'm going to be joined by my colleague, the editor-in-chief of Film Threat, Alan Ng. We've got a few other things we're going to discuss. Mostly Kenobi because, well, we have to, and we're because we have to. All right, let's get started. Thank you for joining me here on here we are on a Wednesday. I know it's early. It's an early start time today, specifically because Alan and I both have movies to go see this afternoon. So please, please bear with us. Our Wednesday show will be either late or whatever. Maybe you're seeing it on the replay. We appreciate that. Alan Ng is here to join me. How's it going, Alan?
Good. I have lots of thoughts about Kenobi.
All right. Well, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get some quick business out of the way here. Hey, I didn't even realize that you have the pink walls, and I assume that has something to do with what month it is.
Yes, that's right. I totally support Pride. It's a great. You put me on the spot like this.
Well, I think let's be honest. You're in your daughter's room, aren't you? Like,
I'm in her old room. There's a reason why she left this room, and it's the color pink.
Is it pink because your daughter is a girl?
Yes, it was. We when we moved into the house and had a child coming, yes, we played the gender card and we made the room pink.
All right,
we have a gendered family. We use gendered terms all the time.
Gavin Newsom would not approve of this, unfortunately. No. And I'm wearing our Fight Club inspired Film Threat t-shirt. So a quick plug for this. If you want to help support the channel, there's a lot of things you can do here at Film Threat. You can support us and you can buy something at shop.filmthreat.com. You can get this cool, check this out. I got one of these cinch bags that we sell. That's pretty awesome. You can fit it in your pocket. You pull it out. It's a cinch bag. I usually keep one of these in my car. You can get this t-shirt I'm wearing. You can get yourself a little fancy Film Threat mug. It holds all liquids, hot and cold. But a lot of other things. Follow us on Twitter, and you can. Oh, well, that was for something. We're not doing that contest anymore. But you can also contact us for any reason. Go to filmthreat.com/contact. And when you're watching Hollywood on the Rocks, take a shot when someone talks about movies. Today we're talking about TV shows. So you may not do that. And I've been getting a lot of these. If you send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Film Threat 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB 1500, Los Angeles, California 90036, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I'll send you a free Film Threat bumper sticker. If you throw a little extra postage on that, I could probably throw in a pin or something, but we like to give away free stuff to our audience. If you send me I got a big envelope. I got a couple people sent me big envelopes and put like $10 of postage, and I gave them DVDs and books. So the more postage you put on, the bigger package you send, the more free stuff I'm going to get back to you. And of course, as always, like, subscribe, and share. That's important. We could use your support on this channel. So if you're new to the channel, you've not been here before, make sure you slap that subscribe button. It's very important. Oh, wow. And I don't want to brag, but I happen to think that our reviews are delicious. I mean, look, don't take my word for it. Look.
These movie reviews are delicious. Film Threat sucks.
But it's time to get started, so let's get started talking about Kenobi. I have a friend, Phil, a friend of the channel, Also, we're working on some outside projects together. Phil has been putting together these fun videos. I just like to see Alan's reaction to the video.
I know. I'm just glad he found my improv page at the place I performed
at the National Comedy Theater.
Yeah, that's where those photos are from.
Alan performs comedy at the National Comedy Theater Improv in San Diego, California. So if you want to go down there and experience Alan on stage, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah, this Saturday and next Saturday I'll be there. So.
Okay, so there you go. National Comedy Theater. Look it up. And that's my favorite photo of you because you look so goofy. Before we get started, let's say hi to people in the chat. When I was on, let me just admit something. When I was on the Nerdrotic Nooner with Gary and Garrett, they started talking about tacos. I got so hungry. They were talking about tacos, burritos. I had to order from King Taco here in Pasadena, California. So I don't know. I had to get some King Taco. So there you are. Wait a second. All right. Flaccid Phoenix for $2. Please show us Alan's nipple punishment video. Flaccid Phoenix, also, by the way, subscribe to Flaccid Phoenix's channel. He is moderating today. He is a producer on the show. We appreciate his hard work. But let's see that Alan video. Where did that go? Oh, here it is.
Oh, it's not gone.
That's awesome. But we got a lot of people here in the chat. Let's get to some of these comments before we get into our full review of episode 4 and our assessment of the show so far. Look, it's 2/3 over. It's 2/3 over. There's only the last third left. But Anna says, I hope Deborah Chow and the other writers never touch another Star Wars project ever after this. Couldn't agree more. We'll talk about that. Luke Deckard, the professional human. Can I just say justice for Wade?
Wade.
Yes, you can say that. You can totally say that. Matthew A. Kobo says, I haven't seen anyone besides Chris talking about Leia's teeth.
Because no one cares except Chris.
Dental care on Alderaan is in disarray. Dentists, if you're an Alderanian dentist, you have a lot to answer for. But yes, I feel like everyone else is trying to be polite, and I don't care. So there you go. Shucksy says, I just came from the Nooner. Loved seeing you there, Chris. Well, you didn't actually see me. And this is why I really appreciate about Gary and some other shows that I do, like Midnight's Edge, is they let me not be on camera. And I can tell you when I'm not on camera, I'll tell you exactly where I am. I'm in front of my TV on the couch, and I'm usually eating. So it's like, all right, I'll talk to you for an hour. I can multitask. So I got a burrito before, which probably is mean I'm going to have to take a break in the middle of this, but let's not go into detail about that. Thank you, Shucksy, for joining. Karen Owen says the girl playing Leia just turned 10, so she was probably 8 when filming. Chris is right on her teeth. Karen Owen, thank you. No relation to Owen Lars. All right, John Wick, not the real one, probably. He says, good thing they were tracking Kenobi Tala, Ned B when Vader let them go like all the Disney apologizers explained. Not. And Flaccid Phoenix says, please send super chats to help free Alan from the pink room. We want Alan to get some paint or hang up something. I'm just going to say it's because of June. That's why you're in this. And John Wick says, Reva failed to track Kenobi from 2 other worlds. 3rd time she tracked Kenobi, so Vader forgives her failures. Such bad writing. We're going to get into it. Luke Deckard, the professional human, says, I hated when the episode tried to make random non-character Wade's death something impactful. The writing on Kenobi is so juvenile. C.D. Stein, 69. I love to say that name. So disappointed in Chow. You can tell Favs and Filoni aren't exec producers on this, so many issues with Kenobi. Reva is not getting better. I'm willing to give my deposition against the show. Yes, we have an event that's going to be coming up in the coming weeks. We're putting Lucasfilm and Disney on trial for the murder of Star Wars. It's going to be an event. It's going to be across several days, if not weeks. We'll be bringing on people for the defense. It's going to be a very interesting series that we'll be doing. Charles Lazaro says, hi, Chris. Hi, Alan. I recently discovered your channel and I love it. I prefer this streaming schedule because I live in Barcelona. I hope you repeat it. Yeah, we may have to move our Wednesdays to earlier because Alan and I will get to screenings and whatnot. Zach says, yes, more Alan nips. Wait, really? You want more Alan nips? Like, you know, you ask, I like to be very responsive to our audience here. There you go. Wait, Matthew Spates for $20 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Chris and Alan, I don't get how even the normies can like Obi not Kenobi in episode 4. They cannot even keep his powers straight. The writers didn't even know Obi not knew Anakin was Darth Vader. Exactly. Yeah. So Connor Williams says, Alan's nips, absolute legendary. Nipple video better than episode 4.
You know, it's not the first time I've heard these comments before in my life. So,
Alan, I love your nipples.
I know.
Someone's going to clip that. OG_boxer says, Chris, I hear Alderaan gets free dental care in about 9 years. Yeah, Carrie Fisher, great teeth. And I loved her. We're not going to talk about it. I love the fact that, like, okay, I'll talk about it. In the original Star Wars, when Carrie Fisher's walking down that hall, you could tell, no bra. We don't want bra lines in space. Girthy Guitarist says, the women in the Empire is ridiculous. Leia bonds with Obi-Wan, but doesn't know him in A New Hope when he does and consoles Luke. Ice Cube Jr. had a Jedi wife. I thought they couldn't marry, hence Vader. Good point. The thing is the fans know more about this than the people working on the show. Girthy Guitarist follows it up. Why did Obi-Wan try to hold back the glass and not just run from the water in the first place? Exactly. And Girthy Guitarist, okay, we already got to that one. And we're gonna end with this one for now. We'll get back to your comments after Alan and I chat about the show. But Dr. Fauci's prison butt, I can't say that often enough. Dr. Fauci's prison butt says, as someone that hasn't watched a Disney Star Wars product since The Force Awakens, I genuinely like to know why people keep giving Disney a chance 8 years later. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I don't know why. I'll say this. I bought Star Wars Celebration tickets in the summer of 2019 before The Rise of Skywalker came out. This is when I was hopeful and optimistic, like Luke, you know? They're gonna wrap it up. They're gonna fix every problem. Luke is gonna come back from the spirit world, hence the title, The Rise of Skywalker. It'll be a Christ-like thing. He's gonna set things right. Luke will come back. He'll bring the spirits of Jedi from the past with him to defeat whatever that villain is of the movie. We found out it was Palpatine, kind of lazy, but so I did that, and then also I bought a Disney Plus subscription because I'm a D23 member. There's not much to that. But anyone can be a D23 member. You basically just
sign up.
I don't think it costs anything. But I got an offer to get Disney Plus for a really low price for 3 years, so I'm kind of stuck with it here. And Silverlock for $4.99 says, award this, made my year with Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. Thanks. Silverlock, thank you. I hope you watched Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. It's incredibly politically incorrect. I would even say there's some jokes that are very suspect. Alan, you're a big champion of Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. Yeah. Can you tell people about it?
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's an off-the-wall, raunchy, very raunchy comedy, politically incorrect. Yeah, those are my favorite movies. I just cannot stand it when people try to be politically correct. My only disappointment from award this was I did not get a dildo hat. But go see Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. It's on all VOD platforms at the moment.
Well, you know, actually, there is an award that I actually forgot to give in the script, and it was going to be for you, Alan. Look, can you read that? Can you read it?
Let me see.
It says Indie Critic of the Year.
Oh yeah, that's totally me.
All right, I'll give it to you tonight because I'm going to see you at the Grove. I'm not joking. All right, I'm going to bring it.
Gee. All right,
I'll bring it tonight. It's something you can put on your shelf. But thank you, Silverlock, for that. Like, award this is an annual event that Film Threat does where we give awards to indie filmmakers. We review over 2,000 movies, independent movies, on the Film Threat website, which I recommend that you go to at least a couple times a week, if not every day, and check it out. our award show, we nominated this year like 73 different movies in different categories: indie sci-fi, indie horror, indie comedy, and we give out awards to filmmakers because we want you to know about these movies so you can watch Award This 2022. Alan and I are in it. Other people you might recognize are in it. John Bailey, the epic voice guy, he's the narrator of the show, announcer. He's our official show announcer. So there you go. But let's go. Flaccid Phoenix says, everyone slap that like button. Yes. Awesome. And we're gonna get to more of your chat questions after.
Yeah, they're coming in fast and furious here.
They're coming in fast and furious. We got to put a little pause on that. We'll get back to you. But we need to talk about the adventures of young Leia. We're going to talk about the first 4 episodes, in particular the 4th episode. Should they just, Alan, serious question for a minute. Yes. Should they just, this is my big beef about the show. It's called Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's not about Obi-Wan Kenobi. It should be about Obi-Wan Kenobi and his relationship to Anakin. And if they really, the best material to mine for the spine of the story of the show should be between Obi-Wan and Anakin. It doesn't exist. Side characters, like young Leia but it feels like the young Leia show. It's just sort of devolved into that. And just so the filmmaking itself seems like this is like a Disney show for children. It seems like the show was shot in a week. This particular episode's like 38 minutes, so it's shorter than previous episodes. So it's a short episode. Looks like they shot it in a week. And my big beef on it, we'll get into it because I want to hear what you have to say. My big beef with this show, in particular this episode, really reveals it. There are no original ideas. Everything we have seen in the show, we've seen better in other Star Wars, whether it be infiltrating a base that you're not supposed to be at. We've seen that. It's a cliche. It's done in such a ridiculous way. Let's see, someone in a bacta tank. So both Obi-Wan and Anakin are like going in a bacta tank now. That's a reused idea. Snow speeders, we've seen those before. Okay, fine. Where are the original ideas?
I'll tell you where the original idea was, and I'm pretty sure they cut it out, and that's Wade. I mean,
right.
You said that they cut it down to 38 minutes. Clearly, there was a significant Wade section in there that was going to blow our minds, and then they cut it out. I think it's because he was a dude, and that's why they cut it out.
Well, I've got so much to say, and if you've come from the Nerdrotic Nooner, I may be repeating some of the things I said, discussed with Gary there. But Alan, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You said you had a page full of notes.
Yeah, I have a page full of notes.
Hit me with your notes on Obi-Wan. Wait a sec. Is it young Leia or is it Obi-Wan? Which one are we going to go with?
I'm not fully on board with the young Leia, but
You're not on board with you? Okay, let's go with
we'll go with Obi-Wan.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So at the top of my notes, I have in big letters 3 times bland, bland, bland. I think I read the comments, so I know what you guys are saying about me. Yeah, I tend to give Disney properties a chance. I tend to give shows a chance. And after watching episode 4, I am so angry and upset. And there's this little glimmer of hope in episode 1 that this was going to get better, possibly get better, and it has not. It's not going anywhere. And I will tell you, this episode in particular exemplifies everything I despise about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series, at the moment. And again, I'll always point back to the dialogue, but now I'm starting to agree with you guys. The animation in this is embarrassing. The Reva, it's like, okay, I thought in the last episode her acting got a little bit better, but no, they gave her less lines basically. In this one, she is not comfortable with her character at all. Her line delivery that's what she's doing. She's delivering lines, and I'll always go back. The biggest crime of this series is the writing, the dialogue, and I had to write down just to prove my point. I had to write down a series of lines here. This is when Reva is interrogating Leia, and they're sitting in a quiet moment, and Reva says to her, I know what it's like being alone. Now, right there, Leia's alone. She's afraid her Obi-Wan's dead. No one's coming to rescue her. And she takes this moment to say, look, I can relate to you. I know what it's like to be alone. And this is a great moment now for this character to kind of build a bond and try to extract some information from her and to put her at ease. And so this is a great line. And then the next thing she says is, and I have it here somewhere. The next thing she says is, Kenobi is gone. The people they are trying to protect are not coming for you. And so now they've just taken this really great stepping point, a great first line of a scene, and then just ruined it and just went back to the plot. Kenobi is gone. And so this is my feeling about this episode. The episode is basically the rescue of Princess Leia, and that's all it is. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing nuanced about it. There's nothing really that says anything about this series other than this is the episode where they rescue Princess Leia and kill Wade, basically.
It's all the events and the things that occur in this are all things that we've seen in other Star Wars. They're making a plan to rescue her. The Wade guy's like, I'm not going to help you. Okay, I guess I'll help you. Like every sort of conflict that comes up against them is solved like within like a minute of, I'm definitely not going to help you. My wife was a Jedi, and then okay, I guess I'll help you.
But see, that's the opportunities they're missing. They're setting things up great. They have these moments where they could take this, where we could learn about characters, where we could learn about the story, where we can kind of connect with characters, and they're blowing it big time.
Well,
Wade. I mean, we're supposed to feel bad about Wade, who a guy we never met, but dies. And they haven't earned his death. That's the biggest crime here. They didn't earn his death, and so it means nothing to us.
Yeah, and then there's just so many things. So my complaint just on the surface is, one, we've seen every scene that we've seen in here, we've seen done better in other Star Wars. Infiltrating a base, walking through a hallway, trying to not be discovered. A torture scene, right? There's the scene where Reva's like torturing Princess Leia, which seems weird. We've seen that
torturing children. I mean, that was the best idea of this, is torturing children.
Exactly. Once in episode 2, and then once in Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo's being like, we've seen these scenes before. You've got the two worst actors in the series, the young girl who plays Leia, and then the woman who plays. And I'm not saying that Moses Ingram is not a good actress in other things. I think she's not being directed well, and she's
not comfortable in the role.
She's not. She doesn't seem like they should have sat her down and said, "Look, maybe let's try it. This isn't working. Let's try a British accent. Maybe we need something more to kind of just make her interesting, to give her some story. Your wardrobe informs the character, and she looks like someone cosplaying as Darth Vader, femme Darth Vader at a Star Wars celebration. Or
what she should have done? What she should have done during these torture scenes, or to prepare for these torture or the interrogation scenes, was to watch Jeremy Irons as Scar in The Lion King. And deliver lines like that. She's supposed to be menacing, and she's just saying it with a very mean attitude, and it's not menacing at all.
It's not menacing. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I feel like when you look at characters in Star Wars that are scary, sometimes they're scary from just it's a line is delivered in a quiet way with gravitas, and it's more threatening. And I feel like her things are to yell at everybody. That's not good acting.
Or to talk sinister.
Yeah. It's too on the nose, and it's a simple-minded interpretation. Whereas you look at so many characters, minor characters in Star Wars films that are standouts because their brief period of time on camera, they really use it. So I don't know. But look,
well, the other thing is Leia in these interrogation scenes. I don't understand her motivation at all. I don't understand. She's saying the lines, but I don't know if she's scared. I don't know if she's one-upping Reva. I don't know if she knows what's going on. And then there's a point where she's trying to extract military information out of her, and I'm like, does this 10-year-old really know where the secret base is? And I don't know. Didn't play well at all. And I will say this: the only hope this series has is the final 2 episodes, because it's written or co-written by Andrew Stanton, who's probably written the better of the Pixar movies. And so I think, my hope is that, he's a real legit screenwriter. My hope is he's able to write really good dialogue, and tell a really good story at this point. Because
didn't Andrew Stanton also do John Carter? John Carter from Mars? I think he did.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I love that. That's a very underrated movie. Look up John Carter. And that movie kind of got screwed.
Yeah, he wrote Wall-E.
I mean, yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know, the writing on the show is incredibly weak. The thing where I burst out laughing, which I thought was the most ridiculous, was when Obi-Wan they're sort of walking, out to the docking area, right? Mm-hmm. And they're walking through there, and Obi-Wan has young Leia under like this thing. It looked so bad. It reminded me of like old episodes of The Little Rascals, where they would like stand on each other's shoulders and say, well, I'm an adult person. They'd have like a bad mustache and a bowler hat, and then it'd be a trench coat, and they'd be really tall because they were all like stacked. That's what it looked like. It looked so, and no one's paying attention to them. No one's paying attention.
Yeah. And by the way, there's still the sets, the Imperial Guards and everything. They're all still socially distant. They're all standing 6 feet apart. Every room is large with 3 characters in it. And
that bothered me too. I'm glad to hear it's a minor thing, but like they're in a room and they have these consoles and the room is huge. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so
they're sitting 6 feet apart so they don't give each other COVID.
I guess, because was this shot during?
Yeah, it was shot during.
Well, I don't think those restrictions are ever going away when it comes to mainstream Hollywood filmmaking. I think that'll always be there because why? There's money to be made. There's money. It's a good business, turns out, to have these kinds of things, in particular on film and television sets. But it looked like the show was shot in a week. Everything about it, like even the action scenes are all shot in like the wide shot. So you'll see a wide shot and you'll see Kenobi take someone out. There's no dynamism to the way that action is portrayed. It's just very like you said at the top of your review, you said bland. It's so bland and generic. And we've seen every single thing that happens in this episode. We've seen it done better other places. The writing's incredibly weak. And it just makes me think of what this show could have been. What could this, this is the worst it's the worst episode in a series that already is weak, right?
Yeah,
that near lightsaber duel between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan last episode was kind of lame. Look, like I say, I've seen fan films that were done better. But this series or movie could have been so interesting because where do Obi-Wan and Anakin stand in terms of their relationship, right? Mm-hmm. He's on the run. He's given up. I didn't even there's a lame thing where Obi-Wan's like trying to like use his force powers to just move some, piece of equipment, and he could barely do it. It's like, dude, do you lose your force powers like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3? I hate that stuff. It's like, look, you've got the power. You know how to ride a bike. Get back on the bike, ride the bike. This isn't the Obi-Wan that we know from the prequels. Yeah. So to see him act that way is just sort of dumb. So that bugged me. But I'm sitting here by imagination thinking, what could this show have been? It could have been incredible. It could have been this, back and forth between like Obi-Wan trying to just stay hidden, Obi-Wan trying to throw him off the scent. It could have been maybe other Jedi coming out of the woodwork and Vader tracking down and killing. It could have been all about Vader tracking down other Jedi, finding them and murdering them. This is how the Darth Vader earns his rep. What does he do? He takes out Jedi. He doesn't have henchmen do it. It's like, no. But why is he taking out these Jedi? Darth Vader's taking out these other Jedi he's finding because he wants to find Obi-Wan. He wants to find his old master, and he's murdering Jedi. He'll find them, murder them, take them out, and in his search for Obi-Wan. And it's got to, so you've got to see like what's in his mindset. Did he make the right choice? Right? He chose to side with the Emperor against the Jedi. Does he regret that decision? What does he think about Padme now? Is he pining for Padme? Are there flashbacks and visions in his head? They could have cheated. Are there visions in Darth Vader's head of how he could have won that lightsaber duel on Mustafar? Are there like maybe visions in his head of if he gets to duel Obi-Wan again, how he will murder Obi-Wan? We could have seen in like his head him killing Obi-Wan. It could have been badass. Also, what is Obi-Wan thinking? Yeah. Luke, this is right now when I should be training Luke. He's 10 years old, right? He's 10 years old. This is now when I should begin his Jedi training. I mean, they said to Anakin when he was 10, too old to start the training. Well, when does the training start? And like, is that a conflict with him and Owen Lars? Where does he stand? Does he see the galaxy and how things have fallen into ruin? How is that manifested? Does he just stay on Tatooine or does he go other places? And I feel like this is a huge missed opportunity. And I feel like it should end. The series should, it's not going to. I'm telling you in my head that it could have been a much more thoughtful show about Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, about their relationship. They finally meet, and it's this moment, and Darth Vader knows he could kill him, and he says to him, "This is the planet where my mother died. If you leave this planet, I will kill you." And it ends with a threat, knowing that it's going to set up. It could lead to him holding a lightsaber at Obi-Wan's throat. If you leave the planet, if you ever leave this planet, I will end you. And they're just so much more when we look, and just any other ideas than what they're doing, which just seems so, like you said at the top of your review, bland. You had to say bland 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, it's what runs in my mind every time I watch this series. It's this dialogue, this action. It's like I said, it's like I took my toys in my backyard and played with them, and I made the Obi-Wan series from that. It's exactly that. Let me give you an idea of what I think Kenobi should have been, or what would have been a compelling story. What if the Kenobi series was Obi-Wan Kenobi failing to do with Anakin what Luke ultimately succeeds in doing at the end of Return of the Jedi? Exactly.
The whole thing is, what does Luke want to do? He realizes when Darth Vader is his father, he wants to turn him to the good side.
Right.
Well, what if Obi-Wan, Darth Vader / Anakin's goal is to find Obi-Wan and get revenge.
Yes, or find Obi-Wan and bring his Padawan back.
Yes, and then Obi-Wan's goal is like, okay, I will meet with Vader, but I'm going to turn him to the good side. Think of if they just had a conversation, they had words, like even if it's like it's Obi-Wan, like, in some torture thing, whatever. There's so much they could have done if they focused the show on the title character.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. My hope is maybe they go in that direction, and maybe Andrew Stanton somehow becomes the savior of the series.
I think it's too late to save. I will say this. I'm being reminded by Flaccid Phoenix. Over 500 watching right now. Slap that like button. Subscribe to the Film Threat YouTube channel if you've not already subscribed. And we thank you for taking the time to spend your afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Apparently someone's in Spain watching this right now. So that's great. But a couple more things before we're going to go to your chat comments and questions here. But I just want to say is I think the thing that people are most disappointed about, and it's not Reva or Moses Ingram in this show. Mm-hmm. I'm incredibly offended. I'm offended. It takes a lot to offend me that what Star Wars fans were being called from the official Star Wars Twitter account. I'm over this thing of going after fans. They obviously hate the fans.
They're lumping us in with the trolls of the internet, basically.
Look, you're never going to not have trolls. You're never not going to have people say shit talk you. I get it. Alan rarely gets it, but I get it. Like it happens to everybody. You're on the internet, you're going to run into people who are shitty. It's fine. Sometimes they end up being an 11-year-old kid who doesn't even know what they're saying. You don't know, it's usually someone with a whatever. You don't see their face or whatever. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is people always say stuff like that. That's never not going away. Having said that, this is the exact same audience. The audience that the official Star Wars Twitter account was reprimanding with accusations of racism, including Ewan McGregor calling people out, including Moses on her own Instagram. And she does not deserve that at all. And I think that she's probably a very good actress, but not in this part. Just going to say it. Having said that, this is the exact same audience that was saying, please put Billy D. Williams as Lando in the Star Wars sequels. Same audience was like begging, you got to put Lando in one of these Star Wars sequels. Lando's got to turn up. Same audience that was begging, please bring back Lando Calrissian, and bring back Billy D. Williams. Same audience being accused of that. I think it's bullshit. I think the issue that I have with Reva's character is she wasn't given time to build a character. She should have worked with, look, if I'm the director of one of these series, we're going to talk about her character, Reva, what she went through, what she should look like. Should she have a mechanized limb in some way to connect to Vader? What if Reva had an arm that was a mechanized bionic arm, and recognize that Vader also has an arm like that, right? Like saw him not completely in his cloak and garb and noticed that, like they have some connection, right? They both have battle scars, right?
Yeah. Well, also if she was if she was a youngling, there's story opportunities right there, and they should have been brought up in these first 4 episodes.
She might have done something even like Darth Maul to me is one of the best designed Sith characters ever. Darth Maul, Ray Park, had someone else do the voice. They could have had someone else dub her voice even. You know what I mean? They've done it to other characters in the Star Wars movies. It's not unprecedented, but I don't think that there was much in terms of building her character. What build her into a badass? We would have loved it. She also should have had very little screen time. Story's not about her, but it is about her, right? This is the bait and switch that people talk about that seems to happen, where you have a minor character that she's already got way more screen time than Darth Vader, and might even rival the screen time of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the title character. So I'm just annoyed that this is like, it's so, I'm annoyed that it's predictable. That
want to talk about predictable? The worst thing they can do with Reva at this point is turn her good at the end.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Oh, dear God.
You want to bet money?
No. I am fearful that this will actually happen. And, I've been talking about, I'd like female villains. But the problem with Hollywood lately is they have to always redeem them at the end. And sometimes I just want a villain to stay a villain. Wanda was a great female villain. I know people disagree with that, but at least she had motivation. At least she paid for her crime, so to speak, at the end.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
We don't want to revisit that.
I brought her up, but
that's
but that's the thing here is the worst thing, the thing that will sour this show the most is if they turn her good.
Well, it's coming. It's Alan, it's coming. Let's get to some of your comments here. We'll continue our discussion, and we appreciate all of you watching in the chat. Over 500 people. Please slap that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's go to our super chats here first. Ian Wakeham for £10, I think. Yes. Hey, Chris, fun fact. I'm exactly the same age as you, born September 5th, 1965. What'd you do? Look me up on IMDb? So, of course, I too hate Obi-Wan. I love RRR, hate identity nonsense, love the boys, but I do have less gray hair. Well, there you go. Mine is
he's your doppelganger.
It depends on how I'm photographed sometimes. Like if the light is like there, the light, whatever. It's silver translucent. But thank you for that. Yeah, no, I have finished watching all 8 episodes of the 3rd season of The Boys. I don't want to talk about it exactly right now. We'll table that. And RRR, I'm going to see it tonight at the AMC at the Grove in Los Angeles. There are maybe 10 empty seats left. It's going to be a packed screening. It is my 4th time seeing RRR in the theater. And Alan, you wrote a review of it that's actually on the Film Threat website right now.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. We talked a lot about RR, but yeah.
Check that out. Tucker Time. The buck always stops with the director. Thank you for that, Tucker Time. Subscribe to the Tucker Time channel. I think Deborah Chow, when you look, it's like, well, she had different producers on The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. She did some of the better episodes she's credited with doing, but I wonder how much of a hand that other people had in doing. I mean, look at The Mandalorian. There are some very original, dynamic action sequences, things we've never seen in a Star Wars movie or a Star Wars television show, right? Like, oh, that's unique. There was nothing, not one original moment in episode 4.
Then also, Deborah Chow has things she can control. That interrogation scene was under her control, and it's a mess. It's a tonal mess. I don't understand the motivation of Leia at all. And this is what a director has to control in her storytelling. And she messed it up. She did not get it right at all.
Well, let's go. Boy, the chat is on fire. So thank you for all your thoughtful comments here. Let's see. Anna for $9.99 says, raise your hand if Disney Star Wars fans and chills have called you toxic for being disappointed with Kenobi. I don't think anybody's called me toxic yet. I don't know. For some reason, I don't get dragged that way. It's probably because I ignore social media. So when I'm on Twitter, what I tend to do is like post and ghost. So I'll post something. I'm like, oh, maybe someone will think that's interesting. I haven't posted in a week. I'll say something. And so I do. And then whatever. But no, I haven't been called that, at least that I've noticed. I'm 100% sure it's happened. But I don't know what to say. We're allowed to have these opinions. I will say a very good friend of mine who works in the industry, who is an ardent Disney Star Wars sequels defender, finally broke. And I saw on his Instagram, this friend of mine, he just says, this is garbage fanfic. I don't like this. What is going on? And he and his son came up. He even texted me. He and his son came up with a better story for Kenobi than what we're seeing in the series.
Yeah. We just did too. I mean, I will say the approach we try to take is, at least we're trying to come up with ways that it could be fixed or could have been fixed.
Yeah.
No way.
Ken Bogus for $2 says, who's Wade? Exactly. He had like maybe 1.5 scenes. You're
well, he blew up. I think that was his scene.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw a picture of him and he blew up.
A Marcellus for $5 says, not sure if you guys are game, but Jedi Fallen Order handled Fortress Inquisitorius much better. Second Sister Trilla is better than Reva. Yeah, I've played about halfway through the game, and I
definitely want to try it. I bought my Xbox with it installed, and I haven't yet played it yet. So.
Oh, come on!
I know.
Come on.
It's a long game.
CD Sign 69 for $9.99 says they should have never even shown Luke if they're never really going to use him. And the whole under the coat little rascals moment, even troopers would notice that crap. Actually getting worse. I know. I'm like, this might be the dumbest moment. And this is the dumbest moment in all of Star Wars. And this includes Jar Jar stepping in poop in episode 1. At least that was consistent with Jar Jar as a character.
And it could have plausibly happened.
Yes, and you know what? Animals, creatures on Tatooine, they do poop, step to poop. But that thing where he's like, it was such a little rascals. I'm so glad that CD Stein 69, you noticed that.
Well, I think everyone at the base was afraid of COVID, and so they were distracted at that moment.
Yeah. Here we go. Akanika is back and says Moses is not acting; she's delivering dialogue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The base has no shields because plot convenience, says Girthy Guitarist. Yeah, makes sense. There's no shields on this base.
And they need thicker glass on their windows.
Oh my God. And Jose Contreras says, are you guys going to review What is a Woman? Yes, we will. We are going to review it. We oddly, so I've seen the film and we are going to talk about it. Not today, but we will talk about it probably Friday. We'll discuss it because you still need to see it. We do have a writer that begged us to review this film. Our writer, Dante James. You should look up Dante James on Film Thread. More of the controversial movies he volunteers to review those.
He's a lightning rod.
Yeah, he reviews all the Dave Chappelle specials. if that tells you something. So Dante James is, I guess he's turning. The review is going to run this week. Now, by the way, also there were a lot of reviewers that they just sent us the link on Friday, the day last Friday.
Yeah, the day after it came out.
It was like a couple days after it showed. Like they reached out, like, "Hey, do you want to review it? Here's a link." Like, "Oh, well, yes, we would like to." So Jose, promise we will review it both on the website, and Alan and I will discuss it on this channel. So I have a lot of thoughts about that. And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. We're gonna discuss it. From the top, I'm sorry, the comments are coming in fast and furious here. Cosmic Comment says, Cosmic Comics says, when Tala sucker punched the stormtrooper and staggered him, makes you wonder why they wear armor at all. Yeah, like what's the armor for?
She elbows a stormtrooper with his helmet on and staggers him. I'm like, what are these helmets? Well, yeah, what are these helmets made of? And you would think that they'd offer some sort of protection.
Exactly. Here we go. Wait. Aaron Jania says, Chris will overanalyze modern things as it justifies his hateful existence, but him and Robert Meyer Burnett will gatekeep the cheesy stuff of yesteryear and call out overanalysis of that stuff. I don't know. Sure, if that's what you think. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do I gatekeep the cheesy stuff of I never gatekeep that stuff.
Gatekeeping, but
I don't gatekeep. Look, you want to talk about Krull for an hour? You want to talk about Logan's Run for the next 2 hours? I can switch to that.
Well, that's the whole cheesy stuff of yesteryear. I think that's, if we talk about Krull and Logan's Run.
I'll talk about Krull and Logan's Run, American Werewolf in London. What do you want to talk about? I'm open.
What about Buck Rogers?
I'll overanalyze it. I will. I'm going to. Can't stop me. MK Solid 82 says, Chris and Alan, we don't even get a scene with Vader in his private chambers with his mask off, thinking of Padme and such. Yeah, I agree with you, MK Solid 82. Like, there's this entire show is the second biggest missed opportunity in Star Wars history. What was the first? The first biggest missed opportunity in Star Wars cinematic history is the reuniting of Han, Luke, and Leia. It never happened. Never happened in episode 7, 8, or 9. They used each of those films to kill off a legacy character, which was stupid. They should have had them all reunite in the first movie, hand it slowly off to the new gang, which is fine, the new characters, but huge missed opportunity. It was a mistake, and I cannot believe no one involved in the process of bringing Star Wars back, no one involved said, you know what we really need? A scene with Han, Luke, and Leia. I think the audience would love that. Let's throw in Lando too. What about R2-D2? How about taking him off ice for a whole movie? He's sitting in the corner with a sheet on him. It was the stupidest thing at the end of Force. So many things about Last Jedi gets way too much credit for sucking. Okay. A Force Awakens is that I hated the most. That's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
MK Solid 82 goes on with another comment to say, Chris, Kenobi's obsession with putting women and minorities in every single scene and making sure they always have dominance has become exhausting. Well, when it's the thing that you're every scene has to be done that way, I think you're missing an opportunity. The second biggest missed opportunity is Obi-Wan and Anakin / Darth Vader coming back together for a conversation after the events of the prequels. 10 years later, after the events of the prequels, how do these two meet? Do they fight initially? Or does Darth Vader want to hunt him down to say, I have won, and if you ever leave this planet, I will kill you. It says, and calling an imperial woman sir is ridiculous. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. That was weird. Girthy guitarist, R.I.P. Wade, we hardly knew you. Exactly. How many minor characters die in Star Wars, and there's no mention of it. It's just like, well, this is life in a galaxy far, far away. You're gonna get killed. Something's gonna happen. All right.
Yeah, and you have to admit, we didn't talk about it, but the snow speeder sequences,
right,
the animation, it felt like that was fan done,
Right. Yeah. We hardly knew you. Why the hell do they waste time being sad with characters we don't care about? Also, snow speeders don't work like that. Yeah, I always thought it was like they were sort of made to work on the planet Hoth. So I don't know why they used that vehicle. You know, I don't know.
I don't remember them being like hovercrafts like that. You know, I think they hovered to park and to land and take off, but I didn't think that they could just float there like that. Yeah.
Let's get to this next comment here. Pedram says, Pedram, sorry, I'm going to mispronounce, and my apologies. Multiple pronunciations. I'll be right maybe once. How have none of the Inquisitors and Kenobi realized that they can throw their lightsaber? It would have solved so many problems. I guess it's because it wouldn't have pierced all that plot armor. That is a great point. You could have thrown your lightsaber. It's happened before.
Mm-hmm.
Vader's done it. We've seen it happen in other Star Wars films. I kind of feel like this show is being written by people who are not particularly familiar with Star Wars. So, Alan, take the next couple comments. I gotta do something over here. I'm gonna take myself off camera for a sec.
Okay. Yeah, let's go down here. Let's see. The woke always conflate criticism with hate because they don't want to address the criticism. Absolutely. I mean, criticism, the approach I like to take with criticism is to be constructive about it, to say, hey, here's where your film or your television series has missed the mark. And the idea is you take this criticism and then you apply it to the next episodes and the next film, and you do better. And I'm sure we've all worked for people who just can't take criticism at all and takes offense by it. And I think Lucasfilm was full of those people.
Look, first of all, I'll take some criticism. My microphone sucks. My background isn't lit very well. Sometimes we start 1, 2, maybe 5 minutes late sometimes. There's so much room for improvement on this show. We don't read all of your comments. We read some of them. There's so much we could do to improve. And I would probably just agree with every criticism, but we do our best. Over almost 650 people watching right now, 642. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because we have a special event that's going to be coming up soon. We're going to be making a big announcement about it, but because you're all watching right now, watching this show is been very frustrating, I think, for not just me, but a lot of people. And to look at the lack of care with which the Star Wars franchise has been treated by Disney and Lucasfilm. And what we plan to do is we plan to do a week or 2 week long event where we plan to put Disney and Lucasfilm on trial for the murder of the Star Wars franchise. We're going to run it just like a real trial. We're going to bring on the prosecution and the defense. We're going to go through about 10 or 12 different major points of charges against Disney, Lucasfilm, and we're going to do, it's going to be long coverage, wall to wall, just like that recent trial that you just watched, that we all just watched. Okay. We're doing a trial here on this channel, and some of your favorite people are also going to be involved. So we'll be making an announcement about when that's going to start soon. It'll be within the next month. And I think we're all very excited about it. We've been talking about it. So I'm giving you the little preview of what we're doing here. And Akanika, thank you for your comment. RMFX, Star Wars died when it became a corporate product. Couldn't agree more. Mm-hmm. Could not agree more. And we talked about this actually at the Nerdrotic Nooner, that, when you have a shepherd of a show, right? A show or a franchise, movie series, whatever, you've got a George Lucas. This is someone who created it, right? And his influences came from classic films, came from samurai movies. He famously wanted Toshiro Mifune to actually play Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was influenced by Asian cinema. He was influenced by old Flash Gordon serials from the 1930s and Buck Rogers. He was influenced by movies like Forbidden Planet and 2001: A Space Odyssey. He was influenced by novels like Dune. He was influenced by history, right? All these influences come in, and George Lucas is the shepherd of this. And now you've got a group of writers that are working on the show that I feel like their point of reference is other Star Wars movies. not history, not the influences that made Star Wars to begin with, right? Old, like Robin Hood. There's so many like little things with like swashbuckling pirate lays, so many things that the original, I'm talking about 1977, that movie was influenced by so many things that came before. And I feel that those influences, and this is why the new Star Wars is so unoriginal.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well, I don't think writers today even reference the past or even study the past. Like my daughter is in junior high. When I was in junior high, I read things like Mark Twain, J.R. Tolkien. These were assigned books in my class. Robert Louis Stevenson, and now she's reading these modern takes of King Arthur and these very young adult novels, basically. And that's what we're feeding to children right now. And we've eliminated the past, and we refuse to allow ourselves to learn from the past as well.
Well, the good thing is you're her dad, and you can order her to not watch the Kenobi show. You can. First of all, that's actually not a punishment. That's not a punishment.
She was watching episode 4 with me, and she was getting upset of how bad the series was.
Wow, you're okay. And Anna says, "Yes, Alan, learn to use the dark side of the Force." Tim's talk. The acting in the interrogation room was very stale for Reva. I agree. That interrogation scene. You have the two weakest actors of the show in a scene together. And it just, you feel no threat. Yeah. It's like
you feel like that they're just trying to get their dialogue out so they can move on to the next thing.
It was just like, this is what it has no weight whatsoever. Anatorius Vex says Reva feels like, and definitely was, a random insert. The character is as empty as the reasoning. There you go. And X-Douchey McDouche X says, Hail Gore. Oh, RRR. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
RRR. Okay, that's great. That's great. Laura Buckle says, Wade was freaking amazing. Best part of Star Wars. Fight me. I didn't mind him. I actually think Ice Cube's son is a good actor. He's very good. He was good in that biopic where he basically played his dad, right? Like, that was good. Shillian says, was there a point to the frozen Jedi scene? Yeah, that to me, you know what it felt like? The way it was shot? It felt like Logan's Run. There's a scene in Logan's Run where Logan and Jessica end up in Box's facility, and he just freezes everybody that goes, and you see this sort of like, you're panning by all these people and they're just frozen, and it reminded me of that. I also don't understand what the point of that was.
Well, it was to shock you. It was to create a shocking moment. It's, as every episode of a series has something that you need to talk about, and there it is. Has no weight. Yeah. It's something you might remember. Hey, they froze a youngling. That was pretty awesome. And
with the helmet on.
Yeah, there you go.
That was weird. Let's see. Pedrem is back. There are many things we can pick apart from the original trilogy, but the difference between that and Kenobi is that when it's done so well, you don't care and still love it anyways. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things in the original trilogy that you could point out as being, kind of stupid, but you just accept it. You just, like, when the thing is this, when parts are so good, you don't notice some of those flaws. And I feel like there's, the spine of this show is not solid enough for us not to notice all of the flaws. Luke Deckard, the professional human, is back. Leia is just smart and strong, or she just has an empty head. Yeah, it's kind of weak. Super chat here from Stubble McShave for 50 sec. I think it's sec.
Oh, I don't know that.
Infiltrating base, Leia tortured, comleak in control room, bluffing imps, hunted by stormtroopers, tracks ship, same story points as second act of Star Wars A New Hope. Shubble McShave, you are correct. It's just rehashing stuff we've seen, and stuff we've seen done much better.
By the way, it's a Swedish krona.
Swedish krona. Oh, that's right. Swedish krona. Thank you for looking that up, Alan. I appreciate that. Matthew A. Kobo says, slap that like and subscribe button. Thank you for the reminder, Matthew. Patrick Lemire is here. Says, Ray could move a mountain with no training. True. Raymond Britton White says, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, my God. There you go. There was a rumor before the prequels were made that the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi was Obi Wan was a 1 and that Obi-Wan Kenobi was a clone of the original Obi-Wan Kenobi. This was a rumor before the prequels had come out, that it would be revealed that this isn't the Obi-Wan Kenobi that we knew. Cosmic Comics says, how many people use the underwater entrance under the fortress? I feel like we've seen that in other movies, right?
Yeah, that's how they got into the Gungan.
Oh, that's true. What do they do?
We've seen that before. We've seen that before.
Robes dry really quickly. Like you come under there, like that just seems like a really obvious place to enter. Like, so you go in there and it's like, I feel like Obi-Wan should have been sopping wet the whole time. Do they have dryers?
I know. You should have seen stormtroopers running, falling down, slipping on the water that he was tracking at.
I mean, they even do a little bit in Star Wars: A New Hope where you see, Han Solo and Luke after they get out of the trash compactor, kind of like cleaning themselves up a little bit. It's brief, but it's at least referenced. Pedram says, yes, it's weird that Kenobi forgot his force powers, but it's also weird that he went from not being able to move a little piece of metal to being able to hold back the weight of the ocean. Yeah, that seems like, I mean, the pressure on that. Also, why did he hold it? Why didn't he just run? So he just held back from running.
He told I forgot the character's name. Leia and the other guy, Tala, to run, and he could have certainly run with them. Yeah. So it's weird. It's weird. I can't even say that word. It's weird anymore without saying it that way. Nick Decker, even the music is garbage. I wouldn't say it's garbage. I would say it's forgettable, but that fits in that category. Matthew A. Kobo says they can't save it, Alan. Yeah. We're getting to that point.
Bella Gassamil says, Germany here. Oh, Germany here. Oh, that's great. Cosmic Comics New Zealand here. Hey, hello. From across you're on like the other side of the world, New Zealand.
I know. You can't say
I have been to New Zealand once, and it was fucking awesome. I went there for an event related to one of the newer Planet of the Apes movies. I got to tour Weta. It was fantastic. And the best part, I got to go to the Weta gift shop, the official Weta gift shop, which was incredible. Let's see. We have some super chats here. Fran for $2 says, Darth Vader should have minimal screen time. No, I mean, yes, but I feel like there's a balance, right? He should have minimal screen time, but there's not. He has like 1.5 scenes in this episode.
Yeah. Well, I feel like his appearance should mean something other than to propel the plot. It's the whole scene where he's with Reva at this point was for her to reveal that she had that she can track him. And that was the point of the scene, that Reva can track Kenobi. There's no way. There's nothing. You're wasting Hayden Christensen at this point.
Yeah. Daniel for $10 says, just like Wanda sacrificed herself, Reva won't be defeated by Vader. Instead, she will do what Obi-Wan did in Star Wars and serenely surrender her life to him, showing he cannot truly best her. Oh, that's a good prediction, Daniel. Yeah. I think that seems more accurate than Vader just killing her, which would be brutal. But that's better. I like that.
Yeah.
Bad Adam 12 for $10 says, Chris, are you still going to interview Jim Wynorski? I don't want to miss it and have a question or two. You need to watch Papatopoulos before you interview him. It's a documentary. Oh, I have not heard of Papatopoulos. I will watch that. And yes, we will. Jim Wynorski is coming on the show in the next couple of weeks. We're trying to some shows are like, oh, we realize because I feel like sometimes we bring on our special guests. We have the director of Ninja Badass coming on the channel on Friday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, which will be fun. We will make sure that is in the description. And we're trying to, with Flaccid Phoenix's help, we're trying to post our live streams earlier so you can kind of see, you can click that bell for notifications and find us. So yes, that is still in our schedule. We actually have an interview schedule. Let's see who else is coming up. We've got Ninja Badass, the director next Wednesday, a week from today, a filmmaker named Brandon Keaton for a movie called Turbo Cola. Escape the Field director, Emeron Moore, Gatlop. That's going to be a big day. Brian and Charles director, Jim Archer, Green Ghost and the Masters of the Stone director. We tried to on Fridays A movie called Mid-Century. That's going to be at the end of July. There's just like, we try to get these indie filmmakers who have movies that have just come out so you can see them and you can talk directly to the filmmakers. So that will continue to happen. You know what? I forgot to send the tweet out announcing that we're live right now, but here we are. Thank you for that, Bad Adam 12. Curtis Nelson for $9.99. You were about to say, what's so funny? I've given super chats before to other channels where I forget to like type in the field. Curtis Nelson, if you have a comment and you forgot to put it in the field for $9.99, let Flaccid Phoenix know in the chat, and I'll make sure that your comment gets read. Popcast on the Rocks for $4.99 says, glad you're watching Kenobi so I don't have to. This longtime Star Wars fan has checked out. Also, I loved What is a Woman? We're going to talk about What is a Woman. Mm-hmm. It is a documentary. We're going to talk about it on Friday. We're also going to talk about Jurassic World Dominion. I just want to make sure that Alan sees What is a Woman, and you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll see it.
Okay, cool. So I want to be able to look, it's important that we both get to see it. And Dante James, maybe we should invite Dante on the show. Dante James is such a cool name. Yeah.
Will he wake up that early? That's the ultimate question.
Yeah, no, I will bug Dante. So, and Flaccid Phoenix says, make gatekeeping great again. A moment of silence for Wade. Womp Biscuit says, if they wanted to tell a Leia story, they should have had a Leia show, because this is a bait and switch, plain and simple. Yeah, that's why I said in our little branding here, let's see, where are my banners? It's the Adventures of Young Leia review. The Adventures of Young Leia. This is our review of The Adventures of Young Leia. Pour one out. Everybody. Oh, wow. That's an iced coffee now. It wasn't before, but it is now. Jeez, we have 1,000 comments here. This is on fire. Robert Thompson Watson, 21:35 p.m. from Scotland, military time. I love it. Thank you, Robert. John, long last name. Hey, your last name is long last name. Offended by the lack of writing and following of canon. Fans' fault. Exactly. Shillian says, do you think Liam Neeson will make an appearance? No, I don't think he will. Although he's probably made 3 more movies since this started shooting. He could have done it.
It'd be a waste of money at this point.
CD Stein 69. CD Stein 69. Eric July says, Eric July is correct. All these corporate intellectual property owners hate we the fans. I agree with that. Tucker Time is back with a comment. Lando was one of my favorite Star Wars figures. He was always in charge of a team of rebels. Yes, see, Tucker Time, friend of mine. I know this person. I know this person from Tucker Time. Has a great podcast called 91 Reasons. So you should subscribe to the 91 Reasons podcast. Jeff Tucker is the host of that show. Tucker Time is his YouTube channel. And look up, when you subscribe to 91 Reasons, just look up episodes where Jeff Tucker talks about Star Wars. He is like old school, passion, break stuff. I mean, I just love it. So a plug for the 91 Reasons podcast. Watch and or listen to that stuff. JM, everyone gets abuse online. It's true. It's not an accurate measurement of a fan base. Yeah, I don't understand that. And also, how are they fans? How do you know that those people are fans? I'll tell you exactly what they are. They are trolls saying cruel things to people they don't know. To me, that's not a good person. Also, are they 11 years old? Are they 9 years old? Are they idiots? Are they looking for a reaction? I feel like what you do is, I used to do this when someone would say something to me that was kind of cruel on social media, like on Twitter. I would just retweet that person. And then I would just let my followers kind of go after them. Then I thought, well, that's not a good thing to do. And all I'm doing is giving that person attention. The best thing is set phasers to ignore, which I don't know why I did a Star Trek reference in a, when we're talking about Star Wars. That was a mistake on my part. My apologies. Epic Mike is here. Hey, Epic Mike. Where were you? Were you on Tuesday night's main event yesterday? Because I don't think I saw you. So there you go. A-Wings can work in multiple environments, but they are speed vehicles. They aren't designed to hover. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
You must have played X-Wing. And then they did all the little spin-off, like the mission packs, like B-Wing and A-Wing. Epic Mike, let me know if you played those games. I loved those games from LucasArts. The missions were amazing. It was tense. One of the best is the LucasArts game TIE Fighter. So it's all of the classic battles from the Star Wars universe, but from the point of view of the Empire. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome. It's so good. Look up the cutscenes. I mean, the game is very crude now, but it's like a flight simulator. I got like a special flight stick just to play that game. God, those games were great. And you got to really know these vehicles and how like that there was so much thoughtful logic behind making these vehicles work in the Star Wars universe. Epic Mike, they should do, and they've talked about it for years, like just put X-Wing, all the games and the mission pad, like it's all designed. Just do an upgrade of it and re-release it as on a next-gen console. That would get me to buy a PS5. Although,
and publish it on floppy disk while you're at it.
Oh my God, I remember those floppy disks, and you had to like the pain.
I don't think it was even the 3 1/4s. I think it was the 5 1/2s.
No, there's the 3. By the time I played, it was the 3 1/4. But I love those games. This is like this is like the mid '90s, if I recall. Yeah. Curtis Nelson for $9.99 says, how many times does the editor have to cut away from the actor delivering their dialogue? An editor once told me it's the easiest way to tell when the acting is bad. Great acting, you never cut away. Yuck. Curtis Nelson, great comment. Yeah, and also just like I have friends that work in the industry. I have friends who work in many of the craft aspects, let's say, of filmmaking, editing, director of photography. A lot of and yes, like a good editor can also make a performance from a weak actor. Like seriously, along with a good director. And I kind of feel like I'm sure Moses is a competent actress. I'm sure she is. I mean, no doubt of that. And she was failed by everyone around her, I feel. Mm-hmm. And she's taking the brunt of that. And then Lucasfilm is using it as a shield to inoculate any valid criticism of the show. So thank you for that, Curtis Nelson. Derek Douglas for $5 says, hi, Chris and Alan. What was the name of that Dune documentary? Dune documentary.
Dune.
Oh, Dune documentary. Oh, I'm going to look it up. Thanks for reminding me, Derek Douglas. It's on the Arrow. There's Alejandro Jodorowsky's Dune. That's not what this is. This is Dune documentary, and I believe it's from Arrow. And what is it called?
Yeah,
Can you look that up, Alan?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah,
we talked about it on one of the previous episodes.
Oh my God, we talked about it. We reviewed it. What's the name? It's a very innocuous name. I'm going to look up. First of all, there's a really great 4K version of Dune that is on. Looking it up here.
The Jodorowsky one keeps popping up, but I don't see the other.
Okay, one. It's a very here it is. It's on the Arrow streaming app, and the name of the documentary it's called The Sleeper Must Awaken, Making Dune. That is the name of it. The Sleeper Must Awaken, Making Dune. So there you go.
Yeah, and we did talk about it on a previous episode of.
Yeah, we did. It's such a great doc because you don't. I've seen stuff I've never seen VHS footage. David Lynch working on it. His justifications for why he made certain creative decisions. So it's a very good. It's a great doc. So here it is. If you can see, is that come up on screen there? It's Sleeper Must Awaken, Making Dune. Fantastic documentary. So yeah. And I've got another. You know what? If you stick with watching the stream, if you're watching it now, I have a very special surprise in about 15 minutes. I need to reveal something to you that I don't know. It may kill the stream, but I want to give a gift, so to speak, to everyone watching. So there you go. Let's keep going through the super chats here. For $2, the Melvor says, third biggest blunder in Star Wars, killing Wade. They could do a whole. That's what the episode should be called. Killing Wade. Echo Base Network is here. Hey, Echo Base Network. At some point, I think I was supposed to do Echo Base Network show. What I'm doing is, and please, those who ask, I have a lot of other YouTube channels want me on as a guest. Like, I have certain commitments. My own channel, Gary, I promised to do Nerdrotic Nooner. Promised like months ago. I said I'll do the Nooner on Wednesday if we can keep it short, because I'm trying to finish a documentary. I'm actually trying to finish 2 movies right now. A documentary called Attack of the Doc about Attack of the Show. We're going to be screening it at San Diego Comic-Con during Comic-Con right now. We're nailing down a venue once I know about it. Tickets should be free. I think we're going to be free. We just got to we have a limit on the tickets. So I'm trying to finish that documentary and another documentary about Film Threat called Film Threat Sucks. After all that is done in August, September, I'll get back to doing sort of, appearances on other YouTube channels. So my apologies if you're asking me. Yes, I will do them after when I have something to talk about. I want to talk about my documentary and other stuff that we're doing here at Film Thread. But Echo Base Network for $5. Thank you for that. These snow speeders are the National Lampoon's Vacation family truckster version that holds 5 people. True. I thought that wasn't it Luke and what's his name? Dak was in the back seat.
Yeah.
He was the gunner, right? So it's a 2-seater. Snow speeders are 2-seaters. I guess you could put Leia on your lap. I don't know. It's kind of hashtag
do a Tala at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag station wagon snow speeder. Mexican Iron Man. Mike, we need to talk. I know I owe you stuff. Mike, I have not forgotten about that. I have been a busy man of late. But Mexican Iron Man for $20 says, I was expecting next level lightsaber action with this series. At this point, for the first time in my life, I think I could actually take out Kenobi and Vader with any of the 20 lightsabers in my collection. I have seen your lightsaber collection. I've seen pics. It's pretty incredible, Mexican Iron Man. Thank you for the $20 and your support. Omar94 says, Chris and Alan, I watched John Campea earlier, and you should have seen his rant about how stormtroopers couldn't aim when McGregor faced the opposite way, blocking blasts from other stormtroopers. Yeah, okay, if you lost John Campea, okay, and John is, you know what? I like John. He is one of the nicest guys. You meet him. I don't always agree with his take on things, which is fine. And he's very enthusiastic and more passionate about Disney Star Wars than I am. He did not like The Rise of Skywalker. I remember seeing John Campea's, and I'm sure he's one of the biggest YouTube channels talking about movies. I don't need to plug his channel, but the fact that he did not like The Rise of Skywalker and now he's talking like this about Kenobi, that'll tell you something. Fletcher Williams is here. Disney Star Wars makes no sense. The place where you can fix it cheaply is the script. Why not work with the script to make your show better?
Absolutely.
That's where the weakness is. Look, let's give credit to some things about this show that are good. Okay. It's not a long list, but bear with me. Special effects are very good. Music is not memorable, but it doesn't ruin the show. Everything else looks fine. The sets, the costumes, it's the writing on this show and some bad decisions, some just not.
I think the overall plot is there's nothing inherently wrong with it. The idea of rescuing Princess Leia. I mean, that seems like a good idea. It's just, the writing.
No, I don't like that this is what the whole show is about. I think it's lame. I think it ruins it.
Honestly, it could have been the first episode and then just rescue her, get her back, and then build from there.
Yeah. CD Stein 69 for $4.99. That all rhymes. There you go. Just don't use stormtroopers to delve out your punishment of death by firing squad. True. Patrick's Raider for $5 says, I call Obi-Wan the Wish version of the game Jedi Fallen Order. It follows similar beats and even shares lines of dialogue. Copy pasted that game. Very interesting, Patrick's. Yeah. I should have finished that game. I only got halfway through and I'm like, I don't have the patience.
Too hard, or is it?
Well, 2 things. One, I don't have the patience for games like I used to. And secondly, it's a time thing. Although I will say this, I did finish Cyberpunk. I finished Cyberpunk 2077. I liked that game 2077. I liked it. But see, I started playing it after they fixed all the bugs and played it for the PS4. If I could get my hands on a PS5 one day, maybe. We'll see. Thank you, Patrick. Curtis Nelson for $1.99. Star Wars writers read Joseph Campbell? Question mark. Please.
Yeah.
4 exclamation points. Pop Monsta says Obi-Wan Kenobi. Dieter Bastion for £5. Who is that in your picture? Is that, I don't know who that is. I feel like that means something. Great idea with putting the Disney Star Wars stuff on trial, but there's only one problem. Would you even find lawyers defending Disney Star Wars? Well, you can find them on Twitter.
I know.
You can probably just like tweet out like our StreamYard link, which is dangerous, and just see who shows up.
Yeah.
But I know
Amber Heard was able to find a lawyer, so.
Well, I know who I want. And I want to get Nick Rekieta involved in this because he's of a legal mind. And I want to get guests on every episode to come on the channel to take a position and prosecute. So there you go. Epimike, Reva very much plays like a bad D&D character. Yeah. Patrick Lemire, Robot
or
Chicken.
played by a bad D&D.
Exactly. Patrick Lemire says Robot Chicken respects canon. I love Robot Chicken. Whenever they cover Star Wars, those guys, in particular Seth Green, he really knows Star Wars. Like, and there's that series, didn't they do like they did a comedy series that never aired?
Yeah, it got killed once Disney bought Star Wars.
Yeah, once Disney bought Star Wars, they're like, yeah, we're never gonna air this.
Yeah.
So that's weird. Bethel Games is back. Guess what? I have a fever, and the only prescription is more RRR recommendations. I'm not okay. I know I'm seeing it tonight. Hopefully you're at my screening. Come by and say hi. VDR says Chris's one kidney strikes again. Yes, I did have to go off and with a break. My apologies. Robert Thompson Watson. Let's talk about Jenny Agutter in Logan's Run. Oh, I have Google imaged Jenny Agutter Logan's Run. And if you'd like to do yourself a favor, I recommend you do that also.
Which outfit was she wearing when you Googled her?
Another Jen. We have 666 people watching. I hope it sticks that way. All right. Another Jen 42 says, I've been a fan since 1977, but have completely lost interest in Star Wars. I'll watch the original trilogy, but I was never a fan of the prequels, and none of the Disney movies shows have kept my interest. Another Jen 42. I would agree, sadly. Enkido, Brazil here. Hey, I love it. I love it when maybe we need to do the show earlier on Wednesdays, Alan. What do you think?
Like at 1 again, or
no, just like maybe in the early afternoon, and that way, there we go. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we get more people watching. I will say this I think it's the 29th. Is it the 29th of June? I got invited to see Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh.
So I'm going to be seeing that, and I think we'll do a late night stream on that Wednesday. That's about a week before Thor opens. Oh, now Alan's like checking his email.
Did someone invite you, or did you?
Yeah, I got invited.
Okay,
I got invited to see it.
Checking my email.
They don't even play Vader's theme. Yeah, that kind of struck me. Like, you have Darth Vader on screen. Why are you not playing his theme song? Bear down _Adam. Deborah dropped the ball on here. Yeah. Fat Elvis says RRR drink. Now that should be the Film Threat live stream drinking game. Is if I bring up RRR, you have to take a drink. Celebrities Poop says RMFX.
By the way, I will be joining you on the 29th.
Oh, you are. I wonder if we should do the show. Can you fit
in front of the Batman statue?
Well, I don't know. What do we do? Like, do you like, because where are you seeing it?
Well, one way to do it is if John was at the on base, and then we used our cell phones to call in, and then he could run it from there.
Yeah, we could. We'll figure it out. But we'll be doing a live stream that night about Thor: Love and Thunder. We're definitely going to be doing that, and we hope you'll stick with us for gems like this.
Finish him.
Oh, my jeans. All right, that's the last time I'm ever going to show that. Pedram says Hayden Christensen had the best response when asked about the Star Wars trolls being hateful. He said they're a small minority, and that minority of fans are actually great. There you go. Like, I feel like what you do is whenever, if you've been bullied in any situation, and I'm talking about all types of bullying, right? You've got, when you think of bully, you think like someone on the playground, bullied online, bullied maybe by a coworker. It doesn't affect you. If you show that bullying from another place affects you, the bully won. They got what they wanted. It's like feeding a troll. You never feed a troll. Let them say. I don't block people on social media. I just mute them. Let them say what they want. I don't care. You don't affect me. I don't think about you. You're thinking about me. I just make, so yeah, that's a great comment, Pedram. Whoa. I will not tolerate speaking ill of Krull. The soundtrack is fantastic. I agree with you, MM. Yeah, we were just talking about like the retro stuff that's cool. Like, I like to bring it up, but because I'm older and I remember that stuff. And I saw Krull in first run at the theater when I was a kid. Liam Neeson's in that movie. Infinite Main for $5. Why place a tracker in the droid of someone you're most likely killing in the interrogation room? So stupid. So there you go. Hayden, Oliver Lozano says Hayden being all of the time face covered with the Vader mask or tank mask was not what he expected, I guess. Still, his movement is not so intimidating. Vader was always slow, like in It Follows. Yeah, I agree. Like this force, almost like Jaws. Like, he's there, he's coming, he's in the shadows. Like, I mean, the lightsaber duel in The Empire Strikes Back, though not maybe the best lightsaber duel, probably one of the most dramatic. And it's interesting just to hear how deeply George Lucas thought about these things, these choices he made, right? So two things about that, and this is from a book called The Secret History of Star Wars, which I recommend you all read and or listen to the Audible version of it. So when he was thinking about Darth Vader and Luke are going to duel at the end of The Empire Strikes Back, well, they already knew that they were going to make a whole bunch more Star Wars movies. He knew that the audience wouldn't believe that Luke was in any danger, right? This is episode 5, the end, Empire Strikes Back. Luke and Vader are dueling. You're not going to kill the main character. You're not going to kill Luke. Darth Vader is not going to kill Luke. Therefore, there's no tension. That's why when you look at the Disney sequel lightsaber duels, they're kind of boring because, like, okay, what's the drama? So what Lucas decided was the drama is going to be not Luke winning or losing the fight. It's going to be, will Luke turn to the dark side? Because he thought the audience would believe that Luke could turn evil like his father. So there you go. Let's see. So yeah, real quick, Curtis Nelson's super chat got messed up. Here's what he said. Modern actors play antagonist characters like they're just mad and miserable all the time. Scowling and yelling is not powerful or scary. It cheapens and weakens the character. Thank you, Curtis Nelson, for that, for $9.99. We appreciate that. That's awesome. And we make a mistake. We're going to do our best here to fix it. Kara says, I'm somewhat not interested in that new Jurassic World. Just too big a fan of the original, of the first Jurassic Park movie and book. People forget it was a book. It was basically, it's basically Westworld in a sense, right? Carl, we're going to be talking about it. I've actually seen Jurassic World Dominion. I've already seen it. I saw it on Monday. What can I say about it? Prepare for disappointment, unfortunately. Patrick Lemire, how does Jurassic Park keep getting insurance? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. You're seeing it tomorrow, right, Alan?
Yes, tomorrow night.
Okay, so we'll talk about it on Friday. We're going to talk about Jurassic World, and we're going to it's going to be spoiler filled. So prepare for that. Epic Mike, I played X-Wing and TIE Fighter so long ago, but I loved those games. Favorite space game was Descent Free Space. Lol. Yeah, Descent. I forgot about Descent. It's so good. Epic Mike, I would love to see like next gen versions of these games. You could literally just recreate the cutscenes. You could, the music was great. Like everything about, like, it's so intense. And it was so thoughtful, the flight simulator. I actually, at the time, I worked for a video game magazine, and I actually got to go up to visit LucasArts at Skywalker Ranch. And all I wanted to do was go to the gift shops. That's all I cared about. All Twisted Up says, shame is that we in the audience can come up with better story ideas in 30-second casual conversation than the people who get paid to write stuff day and night. Also, still need my red DVD signed. Hey, happy to sign it for you. Is this who I think it is? Did we meet at Star Wars Celebration all twisted up? That might be you. There you go. Richard Curtis for 20 euros. I think that's euros.
No, pounds.
Pounds. God,
Euros
sorry.
Yeah.
Richard, forgive me. I'm new at this live streaming stuff. I don't have hundreds of hours of experience like Gary from Nerdrotic or these folks that are much more professional than I am. Have you heard they're doing a Constantine 2 on HBO Max? Yes. Also, was it you that said Keanu's Constantine was more Harry Damour from the books of Clive Barker? I did not say that, so I cannot be credited with that. But I appreciate the support. Bill T, Chris Gore live twice in one day. Yeah, I know. I can't believe it either. This was just because Alan and I have movies to go see tonight, so we moved on. We might have our Wednesday show, Hollywood on the Rocks, be a little earlier in the day, because I feel like we're more people are tuning in. So maybe it's a better time for us. We'll see. Hey, Paulie, Latino Slant, I'm going to see you later. Kenobi plot holes piling up. Joy is fleeting, and Obi-Wan needs to show up. Agree. Modern Mano says you guys are so right. Well, thank you for that. Dempsey, they are substituting world building and character arcs for soap opera level payoffs with no buildup. Why even name these shows after characters that are not the focus? It's clickbait style marketing. Yeah.
Okay, I think that comment is insulting to soap operas. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Soap operas are popular for a reason, and they tell compelling stories. And nowhere does Obi-Wan compare to a soap opera.
Yeah, and come to think of it, Eric O'Sullivan points out, do they play Leia's theme music? No. They don't. Why wouldn't they play Leia's theme? Do they not have the rights to this? Is it one of those things where
they make a big point that they're playing Obi-Wan's music from John
which
Williams,
is an original thing.
Yeah. Echo
Base Network says Stormtroopers are effing useless. Turo is back, says I like Alan's shirt. I'm gonna buy that one. We've got, let me just say this. If you go to shop.filmthreat.com, you can go there, and we're cashing in on everything. I don't care. We've got we put that shirt out last year for 4th of July. We've also got a rainbow themed shirt that's based on the Star Trek the Motion Picture poster. You know what? I'm going full corporate on selling the merch. I'm here to please everybody. So get a Patriot shirt like that, or get a rainbow one, or get a Fight Club themed one like mine, whatever. Pop Monster says Disney kills Kenobi. Disney says no. He's still alive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I think it would be very bold if they killed him at the end of the series.
Yeah, it's not going to happen because he has to be alive for.
Well, is that really going to stop him? Really?
Yeah. I have something special to share in just a few minutes that I want to share with everybody here. Echo Base Network for $20. Thank you again. When did Reva put the tracker on the droid? Also, why would she feel the need to do that in the first place? She had Leia captive and did not even know Kenobi was there, or that Leia was going to be rescued or escape. And here's the dumber thing. This is Bail Organa's daughter. Where do you think they're going to go? They have Leia. They have leverage. They're not going to use that leverage and contact Bail Organa and say, we have your daughter. Although, what's the point? And so the thing is, where do you think they're going? They're going to Alderaan in a. I hope they're not. Can you imagine? Snow speeders, I don't think they don't go off world. So, although
they do now. They do now.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Echo Base Network. John Orchard for $5. Why is the lighting in most of these shows so dark? Can I tell you why? If you look at the originals, they were brighter. I'll tell you why the lighting is dark. It's easier to hide flaws, including it's easier to do special effects. That's why in a lot of movies that don't have a very big effects budget, it's raining. It's raining when the digital effects come into play. This is true, for example, for the Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick. It's raining most of the movie. That was to hide the special effects. But I have a treat for you right now. I have a treat for you. I was contacted by someone, not going to say who, And yeah, how do I put this? I get people contacting me for things, and I want to share something with you, and I want you to jump on this. And okay, I'm going to pull something up, and we're going to see if this is something that I'm able to show you here. Here we go. I was contacted by someone who did not give me their name about this. Someone has already made an alternative cut of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. Already made a poster. This exists. Maybe it's out there. I was sent a link to a Google Drive where you can download it. Now, an alternative cut of the Kenobi show is kind of like, in my opinion, polishing a turd. Okay. How can you make the show better? It's only better in the sense that much more it's cut in a way that makes it more believable. Leia is far less annoying. Same thing with Reva. If you give these characters less screen time, they actually resonate more. That's sort of the big improvement. If you would like, I am going to, and Flaccid Phoenix, I'm going to put this in the, I don't know if can we do this?
I don't.
Okay, I'm going to put the description. I'm going to put in the description of this episode of the show the Google Drive folder, which is a public folder. I don't know how long it's going to be public. Okay, so on another tab, please, if you are interested in seeing this, I recommend downloading it. I'm going to put it in the private chat. And we'll put it. I don't know. I just don't know how long this is going to be live for you to be able to see it. So I'm sorry. I got to put it in here, folks. So give me a minute. Alan's going to be waxing poetic.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Let's move on with comments. Growing up in a socialist country, I never saw the original Lucas sequels, but I love the prequels, and thank George Lucas for that. All right.
Yeah, well, you look at the Star Wars prequels now, and they've definitely aged better. Oh, Midnight's Edge After Dark. Is this Tom? Tom, is this you? Midnight's Edge After Dark, a show I strongly recommend. Midnight's Edge in the morning, which I am there on Monday mornings. Alan, you need to do that show. Tom, contact me. I will connect you with Alan. You need to get Alan into your rotating roster of people on Midnight's Edge. And Midnight's Edge After Dark says there is so much dumb in Kenobi. Absolutely. It's very disappointing, and goes on to say, buy Chris's merch. Yeah, thank you for that. Why not? Pick up something. We all need shirts. Our shirts cure nudity on contact. Multi-topic talk for $5 says, when do you guys think Disney will remake episodes 4, 5, and 6? My guess is they will diminish Luke's role and make Leia the new main character. That will be incredibly controversial to remake Star Wars. It's kind of the only thing they can do. I know Gary from Nerdrotic keeps talking about that. They're going to remake it. And I hate to say this, that I agree with him. I think it's the last thing that they can do. So,
but you need to make Leia a strong character. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like such a bad idea.
And bring diversity to those stormtroopers.
It's such a bad idea. They'll do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a bad idea. They will end up doing it.
Well, I'm telling you, this is the whole reason why Disney is redoing all their animated classics that Walt did and making live action more updated, more woke versions of it.
Right. Carlos Lazaro says, yesterday I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. That is the superior multiverse movie. Much better than Doctor Strange 2. It was the most amazing experience I've had in a theater in many years. The whole cinema was crazy with joy. I'm still in shock. Yeah, it's a much better use of that concept. Mm-hmm. I still think the movie's a little long for me, but here I am pushing a 3-hour long Indian action movie. Yeah. So there you go. And thank you, Flaccid Phoenix. The link is in the description. The link is in the description for the Obi-Wan Kenobi alternative cut. I do not know how long this Google Drive link will be valid. So link is in the description on our YouTube channel for this episode. Download it, watch it, fairly certain that the person who sent this to me, who never identifies themselves, all they say is rebel friend. May the force be with you, rebel friend. This is cool. The other thing I forgot, rebel friend added all the Star Wars Faded Dissolve cuts. The scenes are back. So you're going to watch it and it feels more Star Wars because of that. And actually Reva and Leia with less screen time are actually seem just better. So I don't know. Link is in the description. Grab that link, download it, and watch it if you want to continue to. But Rebel Friend, thank you, Rebel Friend. Rebel Friend may be watching, as far as I know. It's very possible. So thank you, Flaccid Phoenix, for throwing that into the description there. Let's keep talking about the adventures of young Leia. Sorry, I mean the Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4 review. We're gonna have to wrap this up in about 20 minutes. Just letting you know here. And Midnight's Edge After Dark. That's a true story. They do cure nudity. Thanks, Midnight's Edge After Dark. Shucksy says, let the marriage of Film Threat and Midnight's Edge begin. Thank you for that. Yeah, Alan, you got to do that show.
Yeah.
You got to do that show.
Hit me up.
Yeah, Tom, you can connect. Alan's an easy guy to reach, just like me.
I think we've connected on Twitter. You can reach me there as well.
There you go. Laura Buckles said, I think remaking the originals would be one of the signs of the apocalypse. I completely agree. VDR says Rebel Friend is George Lucas, quite possibly. Phil W says downloading now. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, download it. You didn't get it from me. It was a Rebel Friend. But look, it's not the first time that fans have recut a Star Wars. I mean, like Star Wars Episode 1 was recut many times. There are multiple versions of Star Wars Episode 1. So Phil W, spread the love from a Rebel Friend. I deserve no credit for that. Rebel Friend deserves all the credit. Thank you for reaching out to me, Rebel Friend. Micah Jones says, Phantom Menace is better in black and white. George Lucas should have come out in the beginning and said, thank you for coming to my movie, America, and it would have been received better. Possibly. I don't know. Phantom Menace, like, you look at it, it's like, this was like George Unleashed. It's like, I'm going to do everything I always wanted to do. There are going to be references in this to, like, old movie serials and this. And I feel like it's pure George. It's George, not, there's no company weighing in with, like, what any sort of restrictions. So
and he had all those new tools and computer effects. He created a computerized character. And love it.
There you go. Jason Mardonio Meza says, people are telling me The Mandalorian is so much better than Kenobi because Mando was a new character. But you can see the pacing, editing, writing, cinematography, and camera work is better in Mando. 100% better. It feels like Mandalorian feels more like a movie. It feels bigger in scope. John Orchard for 5 says, why is the lighting in most of these shows so dark? You look at the originals, they were brighter. I think I already talked about that. Oh, wow. $50.
Wow.
For Danger UXO. Thank you for that. Wow. That's awesome. Chris, thanks for the RRR recommendation. My 12-year-old son sat and watched it with me. He rarely sits for movies, especially one with subtitles. Thanks for the great commentary and content. Wow. Danger UXO. Thank you for that. It's very generous. It might be one of the biggest super chats we've ever gotten on this channel. So I want to thank you for that. That's awesome. Paulie, are we hanging out later, Paulie? Paulie, am I going to see you at the Grove? Getting there early so I can go to the farmer's market. Probably get there about 5:30 or 6. Look for me. Latino Slant, subscribe to his channel. Says, Alan, don't go on Mead. Tom's a punk.
Oh, okay.
Says, After Dark says, don't listen to Paulie. You guys are fighting in the chat now. Fighting in the chat. Antorius Vec for $2 says, will you review the alternative cut? We should. Should we review the alternative cut? I mean, Alan, you now have this. Should we talk about it? Let's do this. Antorius Vec, we will talk about it next week because we've got, like, we're talking about What is a Woman on Friday. We're talking about the new Jurassic Park. So a week from today, we'll talk about the alternative cut because Alan will have had a chance to see it.
And we'll be on to episode 5.
And we'll talk about episode 5 and the alternative cut. And we'll continue to spread the love from a Rebel Friend. So there you go. Bishop Cruz for 20 says, this was the worst episode yet. Spouting facts here.
Yeah,
They should
it was
prove
absolutely. I was so angry at this episode.
Yeah. This was the worst episode yet. The sheer incompetence of the script is baffling to me. Why would Leia have her droid again? How did she get it? Why would Reva put the tracker in it in the first place? These are questions one would ask if you were trying to be logical. So there you go. Mr. McBeevy says, I'm bummed to see Deborah Chow directing every episode so far. Maybe it's not her fault. Well, I'll say this. She was a much better director when other producers were involved. She was a much better director, and that's all. You can draw whatever conclusions you want. But filmmaking, I know directors get and deserve a lot of credit. Filmmaking is a team sport. It's a team sport, folks. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, her job was to make that interrogation scene make sense. You know, that she's supposed to interpret that script and then have that presented on screen, and it just didn't happen there. And that's the director's fault.
Yeah, point. Well, Mr. McBeevy goes on to say, maybe it's not her fault and it's corporate, but everything is so uninspired. I have yet to notice a well-composed shot that resonates. Yeah, there's nothing as good as this poster, frankly. Patrick Lemire says, there's no fighting in the war room. Hank VP says Obi-Nanny Kenobi. That one's good. For $4.99, CD Stein 69 says, in the vein of Krull, do you remember Hawk the Slayer? Well, yes, I do remember that. It was out around Conan D&D movie before any D&D movie came out. Yeah, I remember that and Sword and the Sorcerer by Albert Pune. Sword and the Sorcerer, one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. So good. Came out around that time. Also, yeah, I love those. There's so much to discuss in that. Patrick Lemire, Kylo Ren had the same issue. I am so angry is not a character. Exactly. Yeah, it's just but also you create a character. You know, when you look at Johnny Depp and, you know, but there were times during the trial where he talked about this character, Jack Sparrow, that he created. He created that character, the way he looked, the way he walked, the way he, you know, spoke, his intonation in his voice. You know, it was interesting during parts of that trial, the parts that weren't drama filled, that Johnny Depp, you got a glimpse into who he is as a person. He really cared about that character. When they showed footage of Johnny Depp going to the children's hospital to visit kids in character, that was just like, how could you not like, there's much more. And like, look, he struggled with drugs in his life, drugs and alcohol. I get it, but that's not the sum of who he is. There are more layers to him as a person. And when he talked so lovingly about that character, you create a character. When you look at these actors, do they take this stuff seriously? And there's some actors that, in my opinion, are pretty much the same person every time they play a character. Like George Clooney is that. Like George Clooney just plays George Clooney in every movie. It's fine. I mean, I think he's the worst of all the Batmans. You know, I don't know how controversial that opinion is. Probably not at all. But there's certain actors that just are the same whatever they're in. And then you see other actors that really put something, they're a completely different person, almost like, you know, just meld into their parts. Patrick
got an Oscar nomination for Jack Sparrow.
Well, there you go. Patrick Lemire says, I was taught as a child, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Yeah, good advice. Now, words are violence. No wonder people are so easily freaked.
Yeah. Silence is violence too.
Yeah. You can't win. That's why I don't engage, which is why I participate so little on social media. I prefer to have this conversation with us right now. And if people want to challenge me, feel free. Let's have a conversation. Challenge me. Let's go. Come on. Kevin Ellis said the gap between episode 4 and 5 doesn't allow any real room for Kenobi to move. He's in hiding. He cannot do anything substantial or it will break every rule in canon, i.e. what is happening now. Yeah. Kevin Dorr for $2 says, I like Obi-Wan Kenobi, not Fredo Kenobi. I'd rather watch a Wade spinoff, says Vamp King. And Flaccid Phoenix with a very friendly reminder, let's get the likes to 500. Everyone slap that like button. If everyone who's watching slap the like button, there's over 600 people watching. You know, look, here's a little, this is just your friendly reminder. Oh, wow. Quick reminder there to do that. Ash Schultz Art says she put the tracker in the droid because she's the bestest. All the other Inquisitors are just incompetent and trying to take credit for her ideas. JC, you hire Bill Shatner so you can get Bill Shatner. Exactly. That's also a trap. Why was Shatner not in the 2009 Star Trek? He was originally supposed to be in it. The 2009 Star Trek. J.J. Abrams. Shatner was supposed to be in it.
Which was a 2009?
That was the first Star Trek movie by J.J. Abrams. That's the one that's watchable.
That's the one Nimoy is in.
Creates the Kelvin timeline. I kind of thought it was fun. It's like I don't know. I'll defend it. Look, it's not. Is it great Star Trek? No. Is it a fun movie? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Pine is great in that. Sir Equinox, also because he was the technical term for this at Starfleet Academy. Captain Kirk was a pussy hound, and that's the technical term for what he was, and it was consistent with the original Star Trek series where William Shatner was also a galactic pussy hound. Let's go to Sir Equinox. Jar Jar Binks will escape having a show made about him because it's impossible to ruin his character. I'm surprised there hasn't been it would be, I don't know, be interesting to see Jar Jar in it. My feeling is maybe Jar Jar will be on Alderaan when they go there in the next week. So who knows? Patrick Lemire says Shatner is a good actor. Really, watch Boston Legal. I will. I've seen it back in the day. Bishop Cruz for $5 says this whole story was better when it was Jedi Fallen Order. That game did the whole concept of guilt-ridden Jedi versus Inquisitors and Vader better by far. I didn't get that deeply into the game, but what I saw I really liked. So they're just redoing that because corporate. Derek Douglas, Chris and Alan, do you have a schedule on the Film Threat website letting people know when you're streaming? No, we need to do that. We should do that as the top banner on our YouTube channel. And we should make some banners. You know what we'll do? We should have a meeting like Friday. We'll have a meeting. We need to make some banners on the Film Threat website that kind of like just say, but yeah, we need a new banner at the head of our channel. Some YouTube channels, they have like a banner that says streaming on, and we do need to change to earlier on Wednesdays. I think that's better for us. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that actually opens up a lot of freedom there.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And then also, if there's a way to actually, when we stream live, to have it be on the front page of Film Threat.
Well, we could do just click the bell for notifications. That's all I can tell you. Our Wednesday show is, the time has been changing. Our Friday show is always 9 a.m. Fridays. It's always. So here we go. We're going to be wrapping up soon, but I want to get to more of these comments here. Terabyte. Oh, I saw what you did. Terabyte says, should have been Darth Maul, not Vader. Reva is cool. If they connect her to being a youngling from the Order 66, that would be good. Obi-Wan should have been on the run. Bad writing overall.
That's what there's such a richness to her character if they had done that, if they had connected the two things.
I don't know. Absolution 85 says, Reva putting the tracker on the ship feels like the show is trying to imply that she would influence Vader's tactical decisions in episode 4. Like, duh, silly man. Exactly. Lagbait says, who needs meetings? We're brainstorming now. Yeah, look, when we're coming up with better ideas than what we're seeing, it tells me that the people that are making these decisions have, first of all, they have these pair of handcuffs on them creatively. Well, we can't technically use Princess Leia's theme in the show because legal. It's like this is like lawyers are part of the creative process in terms of what the restrictions are. Well, we can't use that ship. We can only have X number of shots. Literally, I'm certain that Deborah Chow was like, here's everything you can, here are all the toys you can work with. And that's all you get.
Also, again, where are these writers learning to write?
Exactly.
That's why I'm going, the next 2 episodes, Andrew Stanton co-wrote them. Maybe there's a glimmer of hope here. Maybe.
Well, we'll see. And maybe they are saving the best stuff for the end, but based on what we've seen so far, I don't know. Spider Geronimo says, even Disney can make Jar Jar worse without trying. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. And
well, maybe they'll make him better by trying to.
Exactly. Yeah. Charlie Stevenson says they missed an opportunity writing Reva's character like they did with Finn's. Mm-hmm. I agree. I thought Finn was one of the most interesting characters in the sequel trilogy because we've never seen that idea before, and it didn't pay off. It should have paid off. Can I tell you? how I thought it should have paid off? I did a video on this on the Film Threat YouTube channel. We'll put a link in the description. It was my predictions for episode 9. Now, forgive me because I was very optimistic. I thought, okay, Force Awakens sucked. Last Jedi split the fandom, which this is where I became a fan of some of these other channels. I'm like, oh, I don't entirely agree with your opinion, but I like this conversation. This is what nerds do. We discuss this stuff. But I thought, they've been planning this out. They've been thinking about it for years. There's going to be this finale, the 9th Star Wars film, the last film in the 3rd trilogy. They're going to bring it all home. And I was completely wrong I was wrong. Can you look that up, Flaccid Phoenix? It's a episode 9. You can just look up on the Film Threat YouTube channel. Put that link in the description. Maybe even put it in the chat. It's a video I did where I was trying to predict what was going to happen in episode 9. Just know I'm a very optimistic, hopeful person. I could see a terrible trailer for a movie. I think maybe it's a good movie. You know, it happens, right? Bad trailer, good movie. So, here's what I thought was going to happen with Finn is Finn was going to pay off because he was going to be in some situation in episode 9 where he'd be surrounded by stormtroopers more than we've ever seen in any scene. They've all surrounded Finn. They finally captured the Finn, and they come to him. They say, Finn, you're Finn. You're the one that broke the programming. You are the stormtrooper who basically broke with what all the training and became an independent thinking person. And all these surrounded by stormtroopers, all is lost, like a moment that we've seen in a Star Wars movie, all is lost. And then all these other stormtroopers that have collected Finn start to take their helmets off and reveal their true selves. And they're all types of characters, all types of alien races, types of different people. And they're all the stolen, the captured, enslaved children of people throughout the galaxy. They reveal themselves, and Finn inspired them to go against their programming and turn against the First Order. It could have been, if done well, maybe I'm not describing it well, it could have been a great moment. And that's what Finn's character I thought was going to pay off. John Boyega is correct to be upset with how his character was sidelined. Or they could have made him a Jedi. There was an implication that he had force powers. In fact, there's a line they forgot to put in episode 9 where everything when he was saying, Rey, 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 J.J. Abrams admitted he forgot to put in the payoff to all of that. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, it's in the chat and the description for this video that I did. And I put way more effort than I probably should have into that video. But I really we did it with this hopefulness. And I even tied in Solo because I thought Solo was a terrible movie. Okay, don't get me wrong. Solo was awful. But why did Lucasfilm feel they needed to make that movie? And it was because there was information in Solo that needed to pay off in order for episode 9 to make sense. At least that was me thinking 4D chess, that people shepherding these franchises know what the fuck they're doing. And I think it's very clear that that is not the case. We're going to get through the last few chats here and wrap it up because Alan and I have to get it. Alan's got to get on the road to get to Los Angeles from Anaheim. But yeah, Charlie Stevenson, I 100% agree with you. Let me get to these chats here. Jason Mardonio Meza says, I think it would be cool to bring Jar Jar Binks, bring back Jar Jar Binks, but not animated in live action like Cad Bane or Grand Inquisitor. You could change his speech so it's more clear and more comedic. No, I mean, maybe he's changed. He has to have changed, right? In the years, he has to have changed.
Doesn't he become an ambassador by the?
I would think that he would be more thoughtful, like an older, wiser version of himself, right? Yeah. Spidey
still goofy, but with maturity.
Exactly. Spidey Sensei says, which one should I watch first, Ms. Marvel or Obi-Wan?
I think we're leaning to Ms. Marvel now.
Well, you and I talked about the first 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel. There's a review on the channel if you look it up. I think we posted it yesterday. Anyways, I think it's not for me. It's a Disney Channel show.
I mean, I said it's
a kid's show.
It was a good Disney Channel show, one of the better ones, but it has a lot of the flaws that are associated with a Disney Channel show. But but I'm starting to feel like maybe you'll have more fun with it than with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I would say Ms. Marvel is just like it's like a Disney Channel family show, and it's kind of to me it's weak. I don't care about it. She's, I don't
Honestly,
know.
if you have tween girls, I think they'll like Ms. Marvel.
Yes, and you don't have to be in the room when they watch it.
Yeah,
so that's an even better thing that is a recommendation. Kenobi, we're just painfully going through it together because I think part of Star Wars had such an impact on all of us, which is why we're all here, over 600 watching live in the chat, and we appreciate all of you. But what I'll say is that, talking about all this stuff is kind of therapy for us, and it's unconscionable to me that people tasked with, you're going to be able to tell the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi between episodes 3 and 4. You're going to tell that story, and that you don't take it with a level of seriousness or respect for the fans. In fact, you attack the fans right when the first episode comes out and make that the story. And so now we're not talking about your TV show. We're talking about online bullying. I don't know. I think that's it's disheartening to say the least, especially when you see the hypocrisy of how certain people affiliated with Lucasfilm are treated as opposed to others. I give you this. I give you that. And that's all I'll say. There you go. So with that, unless there's other comments, here we go. Kevin Rubio says Solo was written way before the Star Wars deal was even done with Disney. It was a vanity project of Larry Kasdan. George asked him what kind of script would he like to write, and he said Solo. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's well, Kevin, you should watch the video that it's in the chat. It's in the description for this video. Watch the video that it was edited by Bobby Schwartz, who's been a contributor to this channel, did a great job. And I tried to explain what my thoughts were. It actually was the most views our channel ever got up to that point. And it was written about, people did articles about this, what my theory was for episode 9. It turns out it was completely wrong. But tell me if you think that what I was predicting was better than what we ended up with. And Kevin Rubio, check him out.
Let's also not forget Solo. There's a Lord Miller version, and that we have never seen.
Yeah, release the Lord Miller cut. It could have been good. But with that, I want to say thank you for spending your afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. It's happy hour somewhere in the world. We had a lot of people from all over the world. Germany, Brazil, New Zealand. Where'd you say, Alan?
Spain, right? Yeah.
Spain, yeah, like all over. So that's awesome.
Sweden, we got a Kroner from Sweden. So,
if you want to follow us, we are Film Threat on everything, including TikTok. I am that Chris Gore on everything, Instagram, Twitter. It's pretty much the only things and I tweet very rarely, and Instagram as well. But you're welcome to find me there. Alan, you are.
I'm at my pal Al on Twitter, and I retweet all the reviews that are tagged to me from Film Threat. I'll also be in San Diego performing at the National Comedy Theater on Saturday night.
Well, there you go. And Flaccid Phoenix, our mod, taking care of us, mod producer, just doing a bang up job here.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Flaccid Phoenix's channel and check out his videos, video essays that are awesome that you need to see. We're going to wrap it up today, but join us a week from today around the same time. Click the bell for notifications. We'll talk about episode 5 of Kenobi. We'll also talk about the alternative cut. Friday, we're talking What is a Woman? Also, the new Jurassic World film. And Alan, how do we wrap it up?
Let's get out of here.
Thanks, everybody.